3, 2, 1, go!
Well, the wait is over. This is Nintendo DS. From the time we announced its code name, you've known these initials to represent the most obvious feature, dual screens. But that's not what the initials stand for to us. DS has a much larger and more relevant meaning. DS, Developer's System.
And welcome to this latest episode of the Electronic Eggs podcast. Nearly forgot the name of this podcast that we're doing, that I've been doing for like over a year. We're going to talk about the Nintendo DS this time. And with me to do that, we have Thomas.
Hello, everybody.
And we've got Darran from Retro Gamer magazine.
Hi there, thanks for having me on.
Thank you both for joining. Darran, can I just say, the day before the latest issue of Retro Gamer arrived, I was talking to my brother about Pushover. And then in the magazine, you have the making of Pushover, the following day that landed on my doorstep.
I mean, why would you want to inflict your brother with a conversation about pushover?
Because we were trying to remember that one of the games that we got with our Amiga, and I was like, sure it was one with like ants. And
GI ant or giant.
Yeah, that was. We were really trying to think of it. I was like, oh, that was it, Pushover. And then we started watching some videos online, and we were like, oh yeah, that was not that fun. But then, yeah, seeing it the following day in a magazine, I was like, that is so weird.
That is pretty mad.
Yeah. But yes, we're going to talk about the Nintendo DS. So the Nintendo DS, which launched in, 2005 over here, wasn't it, in the end?
Yep.
2004 in Japan.
And the States?
No. The United States and Japan got it in 2005 as well, didn't they?
Yeah, it was released in the States first.
Yeah.
But Japan was still in December of 2004.
Yeah. Okay, so they got it just in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we had to wait until the spring to get it over here. When it launched over here for a really good price, actually, at £99, 149 euros, which is fantastic, really, for value, considering, you know.
Unthinkable these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like, how can something be so cheap and so good at the same time? But it wasn't all great, though. So the launch lineup that it launched with over here, we got Super Mario 64 DS, WarioWare Touched, Pokemon Dash, Polarium, Tiger Woods PGA Tour, The Herbs Sims in the City, who can forget that, cracker, Spider-Man 2, Project Rub, Mr. Driller, Drill Spirits, Rayman DS, Asphalt, Urban GT, Zookeeper, Ping Pals, Robots, based on the movie Robots, and Sprung, the dating game. Oof.
Oh yeah, good old Sprung. That was amazing.
Yeah. But I think they did add another one though, didn't they? Because I'm pretty sure Ridge Racer was a launch game.
You could be right about that. I mean, I got mine from the US when it first came out, so I kind of missed all the PAL drama because I already had the machine, and it was even slimmer pickings over there.
Yeah, I got one. I got PAL one at launch, but I think because I was trying to be sensible with money at the time, and was like, I can wait. It's only a few months.
So it was easier. Sorry.
I was on Games TM at the time, and I imported mine from the States, and it came with Kill the Magic, XY, XX. I got Metroid Prime Hunter's First Hunt because it was like a pack in.
Yeah.
I had Spider-Man 2, which was, yeah, it wasn't great. Super Mario 64 DS, which was really good, and I literally think that was all that came out, and then literally you had like WarioWare Touched came out relatively soon, as did Mr. Driller. But yeah, it was very, very slim pickings over in the States. So I think I had like 3 games with it.
Yeah. What did you get, Thomas, with yours? Did you get a PAL one, or were you importing?
Yeah, I had an interesting experience with the DS because in the back in the day I was also working in press. I was a freelancer for a German magazine, and we got a US console into the office the same week as we got a PSP back then. So we got it from Nintendo. We got the US console, and we imported the PSP from Japan. And pretty much everybody in the office was all about the PSP. And oh my God, look at this thing! It's so amazing. I checked out the DS and said, guys, this is pretty cool. Yeah, it's fine. Here, PSP, and so on and so on. I quite liked it, and I could play some of the games pretty early, stuff like Mario 64 DS, for example. But to get my own, I also waited to get the PAL one because it's just a matter of money, and I wasn't that big of an importer back in the day. So when it came out in Europe, I got it the first day in the morning right away, together with WarioWare and Polarium. And I think I had a good time with it.
Yeah, I was working at Sony at the time, and I picked mine up on the way into the office at PlayStation in the Cambridge studio. And I picked up, so I got Super Mario 64, WarioWare, Mr. Driller, and Zookeeper, because I liked the sound of that when I read the back of the box.
Zookeeper was so good.
And it was absolutely brilliant. It's the game I played the
Mhm.
most for the first few months. Yeah,
I had a copy of Zookeeper as well. I got that from the publisher themselves. That's why I didn't buy it.
it's really, really good game. Like, definitely,
Yeah.
I would say the best game at the launch of the DS.
Everybody on the mag absolutely rinsed it, and although I think we only ended up giving it a 7. I could be misremembering this, but I'm sure one of the versions doesn't let you save high scores, but I can't remember which version it is.
I can't remember if it was on the PAL one or not, but I did play a lot of it, so I don't remember there being any issues with high scores.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had this interesting experience when I bought my console with the 2 games because Nintendo had sent out a few representatives to just basically do a bit of PR in the stores, and I was the first guy to come in that morning to get the console, and he was flabbergasted I didn't buy Mario 64 along with it. That yeah, it's
I've already
nice, it's
completed it.
nice. I know the game. The controls are not that great, aren't they? And I wanted fresh stuff. I wanted stuff that goes with the stylus. That's why I got Polarium, for example. And
Yeah,
I mean,
I
in all
don't regret my
fairness, you had all the
choices.
cool mini games with Super Mario 64 DS. That did a good
That's
job
true,
of
of course.
showing
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
machine could do.
See,
that
I
is
never
true, of course. Yeah,
understood why Nintendo didn't release those as like a compilation on iOS.
I mean, whoever understood Nintendo, right?
Yeah, that just baffles me. It's like they have these mini games that are made for touch input, and yet they didn't think, why we could make some money off that. Just sell it on iOS for like a $5. It would sell loads. But no, Nintendo do what Nintendo do, and
Yeah.
no one will ever understand why they do what they do. And speaking of that, I remember reading on this has been early internet, so it'd been like, well, not early internet, but yeah, 2002. I was still on dial-up at the time, and I do remember hearing that Nintendo were working on a dual-screened portable game system, and thinking, how fucking weird is that? Like,
Yeah, I had
what
no
even is
idea how this could even work.
No, it was so bizarre. But it came from Yamauchi, didn't it? After when he was working as an advisory role
He,
to
yeah,
Nintendo.
he gave the first impulse, basically. This is what I heard.
Yeah. That he said, I think you should make a 2-screened game console.
Yeah.
And then they went off and started prototyping it. And they turned it around really quickly, because you're looking at 2002 from when they started working on it to getting it out by the end of 2004 for a new system. That's a really quick turnaround.
Yeah.
It's
And
insane.
even the design-wise, I mean, you guys remember that first showing, right? With that
Oh my god, that was
slightly
so ugly.
clunkier, yeah,
Yeah, and I mean the one that came out was very fugly, very
still in
fugly.
the beauty, but a big step up from the first prototype they showed.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like,
they ended up upgrading it relatively quickly, didn't they? But
Yeah.
I think the DS is really interesting because obviously there was all that time talk at the time of it being like the third pillar. But when
Mhm.
you look at where Nintendo was in like the console business, like everybody raves about Nintendo, but it's easy to forget that they were on a constant downward trajectory in the home market with their home consoles. Like every machine that came out sold worse than the one before it, up to obviously the GameCube, and then the DS comes along, and it's obviously there to supplement the GameCube and the GBA. Ends up selling absolute gangbusters because it's basically offering something that you can't get really anywhere else. And then they follow that up with the Wii, and they have again an insane amount of success. So, and they just what you were saying earlier about like Nintendo. Who knows what Nintendo will do? But if there's one thing that you can bet on with Nintendo, it's that they're not, aside from the Switch 2, which I think is like the most uninteresting and conventional system that they've probably ever made. Typically, that they're so inventive when it comes to their machines, and the DS is like the perfect example of that.
yeah, I think,
Sure is,
and
yeah.
one of the things I will say about the DS is it's very toy-like. So more than it is a game console, it's a very interactive toy, which is what Nintendo obviously
Mhm.
were doing back in the 70s and some of the 80s, before they pivoted to video games. They were a toy maker, and you
Yeah, I
can
mean,
see that
just
DNA in the DS.
and look at a game like Polarium again, for example. That is a game nowadays. The game is so simple and so limited. It would maybe be some sort of a €5 download at best. That would just basically drown in the masses of slop in the eShop. But
Yeah.
back then, it was a box launch title, and it was just fresh and new. And I spent a lot of time with it back then.
And again, one of the other geniuses of the DS, in a similar way to the Wii, is that um, going to what you were saying about how it looks toy-like and stuff. It's basically not an intimidating looking machine.
No.
Mhm.
You don't have impossibly flashy visuals like the PSP. You don't have like a traditional way of controlling it like the PSP. Everybody knows how to use a pen. Everybody knows how to use a remote control. And again, it just basically was very accessible to people who might not typically play video games. And again, they just carried that on with the Wii.
Yeah, and it was a real
Mhm.
swing for them to do this because you got to remember the GBA was doing pretty well at the time, but with the PSP on the horizon, offering the same sort of games as the GBA, but in a much, like graphically superior form, Nintendo obviously were worried and thought we can't compete
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah,
Like head on, we
they
just can't.
had to
We have
sidestep
to pivot.
somehow.
Yeah, we have to pivot to something else, and it was genius. Like it was absolutely genius. I do remember because, like I said, I was working at PlayStation, and a lot of the people that I worked with were mocking it quite a bit. Just saying,
Mhm.
Mario 64 looks worse than Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64, that sort of stuff. How could anyone want to play something that looks that ugly? What the hell is that bloody Project Rub crap? These were the words that were being said. And I was just there thinking, I'm really excited about this. I really can't wait to get one. And then when I did bring it into the office, the next day, like other people came in with them because they were like, "Oh, that's so good." it's,
And
it's really excellent.
going
I'm
back to what
wondering,
you were,
right?
sorry, Thomas, carry on.
Sorry. Okay, just wondering, did you guys ever use PictoChat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You couldn't get through a day working on Games TM without like drawing dicks and sending them to each other.
I was
So
just about to say the amount of dicks that you would get sent is, as a Brit, is the first thing you draw. Like
Yeah.
you draw a cock and balls. It's what you draw. Give a Brit any form of drawing, he will do that first.
And speaking of, while we're on the subject of cock and balls, one of the other great things about the DS is there's that insanely amazing Japanese Kirby Touch advert.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you've seen it. It's on YouTube, and it
Yeah.
literally looks like Kirby's being pushed around by a giant cock. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen that. It is funny.
Okay, I have to
So
check that out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you a link.
I'll put the audio in for that here, so people can actually listen to it, because it is funny.
You say good morning, I say good night. Such a wonderful day when the sunlight came. Out rose the rain.
Now you can use your finger to keep Kirby on the right path and out of trouble. Kirby Canvas Curse for Nintendo DS. Rated E for everyone.
But yeah, the DS ended up selling 154 million units, which is
It's like
incredible.
isn't it pretty much the it's certainly the best selling handheld, unless the Switch is eating it now.
Switch is just behind, because
I think the Switch overtook it by now.
it must, yeah, because it was at 155, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like
And
that.
that's when Sony revised the PS2 sales to 160 million.
Yeah.
Which is, I was like, okay, I'm not sure where you got 5 million from in the last 20 years, but okay, I believe you. But yeah, it's amazing to think that this system that was laughed at when it was first unveiled, and it was like the press were very harsh on the Nintendo DS.
Yeah, but
remember
I think you
Games
can make an
magazine-
argument for that though, that a lot of people didn't understand the system.
No,
Like when you look at a lot of the games that were coming out on it, a lot of the games were kind of like the kind of experiences that you would eventually get on iOS and stuff. Things like Yoshi Touch Go,
Yep.
Nintendogs, and because they weren't conventional games. You know, I know people on Games TM struggled sometimes to review them, knowing how to score them, because it was felt like, in the cases of like Yoshi Touch and Go, I think is brilliant. But a lot of people hate it because it's seen as like really simple and there's not much to it. But as a score attack game, I think it's fantastic and really complex. So
it's like the Kirby game. Was it Kirby Airbrush?
yeah, touch and roll,
Touch
depending
and
on
roll.
obviously where you live, or power paintbrush.
Yeah, and there's I really enjoyed the Pac-Man one where you get
Yeah,
to draw
Pat Picks.
pack picks. Yeah, that was really fun.
I think that was one of the things as well. It was the games were so new, people didn't necessarily understand them.
Yeah, and I think because the home market was heading towards the ultra realistic visuals, right? And that's kind of where that mocking came from, was the fact that, wait a minute, games are moving towards Hollywood, okay? And you're making baby toys over here. It doesn't make, but what it meant was that you were getting stuff that was gameplay first, because you weren't having to worry about the visuals, you weren't having to worry about anything. You were getting gameplay, you were getting ideas, new ideas. It was
stuff you couldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah, and it's even something like Ninja Gaiden on the DS.
Yeah.
Which you hold like a book, and you just use the stylus to play Ninja Gaiden, and it's still really good. And it's fun because it's just gameplay, it's not taking all of the stuff that they did for the Ninja Gaiden games, which is, ultra realistic violence and all this sort of stuff. It's like, no, this is just a fun game that you can play that looks good. I mean, it does look good, actually. Ninja Gaiden, is it? What's it called? Dragon Sword, isn't it? That's
the one.
Has the DS prefix.
You
got so many of these.
Dragon Sword. Yeah, there was loads of them.
Dual Strike, Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah.
Dragon Song.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the touch generation was the thing, though, wasn't it? That really took off. I'm talking about Nintendogs, brain training.
Yeah, that was the time. I think it took roughly a year or so until it really came into its own.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
then
know what it
it
was.
really did.
I don't know what it was like for you, Thomas. But when in the UK, one of the things which I think did help the DS, particularly during the focus on touch generation, was their advertising team was on absolute fucking fire. They had people like Anton Deck doing adverts. They had Girls Aloud. They had Patrick Stewart. They just had so many like people who you wouldn't associate with games playing these games, playing things like
Yeah.
brain training. So it just made it, again, going back to that accessibility. And I do think part of the reason why the machine was so successful is like the PlayStation before, where Sony tapped into the whole club culture. Nintendo really did a great job of getting across how unique and how different and how unintimidating this games machine was.
Yeah, you know, I don't even recall if there was any sort of big commercial push in Germany. I mean, there must have been, of course, but it completely eludes me.
Adverts were
Yeah.
everywhere.
But when the light came out, that was in lots of different TV shows as well. Like children characters would have their DS lights in the scenes and things like that. I can remember it in an episode of Coronation Street, in Betweeners as well, I believe.
Yeah, probably playing Space Invader graphics and sounds.
Yeah. They still do that now, even if someone's playing like Uncharted in a TV or film. There's still like Space Invader sounds going on. You're like,
Of course.
that's not what games sound like anymore. But yeah, it was so huge, especially like the brain training thing was so weird, because I did genuinely see old people, like elderly people, with the DS. Like it
Yeah, I mean,
was,
in a way, it was a bit a predecessor of what we have today with games where you do your dailies, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And again,
You check in.
it had the like you said, the check-in, and
Yeah.
this is the DS, in a lot of ways, it was so far ahead of the curve in that where you look at where the mobile market is now. Aside from all the shitty transactions and everything, but in terms of like the core, like you said, going back to like not necessarily playing something for a long length of time, but just having a quick play, like you do a quick Wordle or whatever. And the DS was doing that with the likes of, like, obviously Nintendogs and Brain Training and Puzzle
Yeah.
League. Yeah, really, it's really impressive stuff. It's such a great console.
it is. One thing I did find surprising was the top selling games on the Nintendo DS. Do you know what was the biggest selling game on the DS?
So if I could make a guess, it's I think Mario, New Super Mario Bros. Is up there, but I would assume that Brain Training is above.
No, so New Super Mario Brothers is the top selling game on the Nintendo
Okay,
DS.
it's the biggest one.
Yeah, 30.8 million copies. That's
Oh boy,
huge.
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of disappointed people.
It wasn't that bad. Come on, for its time, it really was what Mario needed back then.
Yeah, it's just that I think because I was such a huge fan of like World and Yoshi's
Yeah,
Island, going from those to that, I felt like I was like, I'm glad it exists, but kind of want something more than this, you know?
I mean, keep in mind we were all starved for these kind of games. I mean, I
We
played
were.
through all of Princess Peach back in the day.
Yeah, that was really that I enjoyed that at the time. I've played it since, and I don't like Princess Peach as much as I did when I played it originally. But Nintendogs is the second biggest selling game on
Oh,
the
right, of course, yeah. Mhm.
yeah, but that's all versions together because there were multiple versions of the
Yeah.
game that you could buy.
Yeah,
Mario Kart DS is at number 3.
hmm
Brain Age, Train Your Brain.
There it
In
is.
next
Okay.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Black
hmm
and White, Brain Age 2, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Animal Crossing Wild World, and Super Mario 64 DS are the top 10 biggest selling games.
Okay. Well,
So there's a good mix of like real like what we would classify as real games, and then the more aimed at the wider audience games in there. So it's a good
Yeah.
mix, and then Pokemon's in there as well for those people. Sorry, I should not take poke fun at Pokemon fans.
Oh, it's okay. I don't like Pokemon either.
Well, I kind of do. Not a big fan. Not a huge fan, but I have sympathies.
I bought Heart Gold. That was the one that I did buy because I did play Blue back in the day, but I played that via the Super Nintendo and the Super Game Boy rather than through a Game Boy because I only had a brick Game Boy at the time, and that screen was no good to play on. But then I did buy Heart Gold and quite enjoyed it, but I haven't been able to get into them ever since then, really. Yeah, so while we're on the topic of games as well, what do you think is the biggest, the highest rated game on the DS?
The highest rated game, huh?
I was shocked.
It's
Okay,
well,
when you say it like this,
it's going to be something that you don't expect, isn't it?
Yeah.
So something like Chrono Trigger.
No, that's the third highest rated game on the
Oh,
DS.
that's not a bad guess, then, is it?
No.
let me think here. Okay. One of the Zeldas? Phantom Hourglass?
No, it's Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars.
Oh, of course it is, because
my.
it's a banging game.
Yeah. Which is actually really good. Like, it's a really, really
it's
good
fantastic.
game. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely
pretty much
love
the only GTA game I play. It's so good.
It is so good. And I don't like the ports of it, like the PSP one and the iOS one that they did.
Hmm.
Like,
No.
they don't work as well as the DS one. It's
No,
really
you lose something in translation, don't you?
Yeah. You need that second screen for it.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
but the second highest rated game is Flipnote Studio. Do you remember that on DSiWare?
Oh yeah, of course.
No.
mean-
I think I missed that one.
Once you played it, I guess.
A bit, yeah. I mean, it's not even a game, it is just this communication tool, but it's very well made, I think. And from what I can tell from my experience, because quick explanation, I'm teaching at a university with lots of artists and game developers to be, and many of them actually start even their animation experiments on the stuff like Flipnote Studio.
I can believe
So
that because the stuff that some people, I'm rubbish at art, so
Yeah,
my
same.
stuff on it looked absolutely terrible. But there were a lot of my friends who had it, and they were incredible. Like some of the stuff they were doing in this thing, it was insane. Mario Kart DS is the fourth highest rated game with so that's 91% on Metacritic. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is fifth.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Great game, yeah.
The last good Mario and Luigi game.
Yep.
Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass is the sixth.
Yeah.
Seventh is Advance Wars Dual Strike.
Oh, banger.
Eighth, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow.
Another banger.
Very good game.
9 is fantastic. 9 is New Super Mario Brothers, and 10 is Meteos.
Yeah, Meteos is very. There were so many good puzzle games on the
Yep.
on the DS.
Yeah, that's one of the real strengths because I love puzzle games. I will play puzzle games all day. But yeah, like Planet Puzzle League, Tetris DS, which is a fantastic.
Yeah,
Tetris
that's
game.
incredible. That's in my top 10.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, there's just so many really good ones, and like Zookeeper is puzzle-ish as well. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a match-free game.
yeah, exactly. And it's one of those. It's just absolutely fantastic, chock full of puzzle games on the DS. But yeah, I think that's a really strong top 10 as well for Metacritic. Like a really good balance as well.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a good mix of games on there. I do feel that while I like him, the Zelda games are definitely some of the weakest Zelda games they've done. I think the decision, and again, I get why they did it, but the decision to like make everything completely stylus based, where you could instead of letting you just use a D-pad and that to walk Link around, is a bit annoying, particularly as there's mods which highlight how well it works. But yeah, they're good. But I don't think they'd crack the top 10 if you had to like compile a list of the greatest Zelda games ever.
No, I agree with that. I think, but I will say, I been playing Phantom Hourglass again recently, like just to like restarted it just so I could get a better remember, because I haven't played it since 2007. I was like, I really need to play this again just as a refresher. I like it. I still really like it, and I was thinking I really like I really like playing this with just the stylus.
Keep going back to the same dungeon. Oh, I'm in
know,
the same dungeon again.
That is
I'm a little
tedious.
bit deeper.
Yeah, that is tedious. But I really did like the controls.
Oh
like
yeah,
now
it's
I'm talking 2026. I was like, wow, this is really good.
the
Whereas in
controls are
2007, I was like, give
fine.
me buttons.
The controls are fine. I just feel that I'm a firm believer that you should give the consumer as much choice as possible.
Yeah, but that's not the Nintendo way.
No,
Oh yeah, but
that's how we got
so
critical.
like how many people now that you can play games like Skyward Sword, conventional, how many still insist on using the waggle? That's not to say that it wasn't good with waggle, but it does make you wonder how many of
Yeah.
these games, when they get remastered, if people actually bother using the alternate controls.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. When I was playing like Galaxy and Galaxy 2 over the last couple of years, there are points where you still need to use the pointer, which is it's kind of tough when you're in handheld mode. Which you're there thinking, could you really not have done a better solution for that?
But one thing I will go to bed at the Zelda games is the music is amazing, especially in Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks has got one of the best soundtracks, especially the overworld theme.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, you know the version you have in Smash right now, do you?
Yes.
That was arranged by Naruki Michiko from Wild Arms. So perfect match.
Really?
Yep.
So cool, because that I love that stage in Smash Brothers.
And again, just to clarify before obviously all your listeners come after me, I do like these games. I just think the problem nowadays is that everything is either really amazing or really shit, and you just can't have things which are good anymore. And I just think they're good games. I just don't think they're amazing games.
Yeah, they're not amazing games. Like neither of the Zelda games are amazing, but they're good enough for what they need.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean, because at the time we weren't getting the big sprawling portable Zeldas. It's always been bite size. But yeah, I still think they're fantastic. Well, not fantastic. They're good games with fantastic music, and but Spirit Tracks especially. I love the music in that. Oh man, I'm gonna have to listen. Is that on Nintendo Music? Because I could listen to it in the car when I'm driving tomorrow. That would be great.
I couldn't say.
I need to have a look on that app tomorrow. Oh yeah, they put CarPlay into Nintendo Music, which is game changer for me. Now I can actually listen to that in the car, because it's like the only time I get to listen to anything. So
it only took them like a year or so. Amazing.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you finally did it, Nintendo. But yeah, so for me, like that whole period of having these touch inputs and stuff, it didn't last as long as I thought it was going to, because by around about 2008, everyone kind of dropped using that, and we were literally just getting proper controlling games with the D-pad base buttons. A lot of them were ports, admittedly, from other platforms, but a lot of people were just making like classic style games, like Contra 4 and things like that.
Yep.
And Metal Slug 7 was a DS exclusive as well, wasn't it? And that was like 2008, and again was another.
By the way, I heard this story once about Contra 4, because as you know, it didn't come out in Europe officially, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So a guy I used to know knew Konami people from the EU headquarters, and he told me the reason for that was the Konami guys in Europe just couldn't finish the first level in that game and said, okay, let's not do that. It's not going to work.
Oh,
that's interesting. I'll have to tease one of the guys about that.
That's insane, because it is really. I mean, it is a hard first level, but you just need to memorize stuff, and you can get through it.
But
Which
then,
is what you Contra.
Keep in mind what time it came out, right? I mean, this was a time when open world was getting big and stuff like that. Games played themselves at this point almost. So this
Yeah.
was the antithesis of what you had in the big consoles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
that's a fair point.
That is a fair point, but it is still shocking to think that we didn't get it because of that.
I mean, that's what I heard. Of course, I can't say it's
I,
happened, but
I can believe it though, because
yeah, sure.
because like, in Europe, I think we really did embrace that whole wider audience side of things more than the US did, because I think we got even more stuff than they did. We even got Russell
There was a lot of
Brand.
shovelware, wasn't there? On
Yeah.
Imagine. Did you have like Imagine Babies, Imagine Journalist, and
Oh,
all of that?
the Imagine games are a bit of a thing that fascinates me absolutely, because you never know what you get, right? You might get some incredibly cheap European shovelware, or you might get just a reskinned Japanese game that's actually surprisingly good.
So similar to the Simple 2000 stuff that you got on
Yeah,
the PlayStation.
in a way, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, the other thing as well, talking about the shovelware stuff, there were some amazing accessories for the DS. So
When you
Yeah,
say
I mean,
amazing, do you mean shit?
I do mean
Right.
shit.
Okay.
I'm
I
talking.
I just wanted to check.
Yeah, I'm
okay, but
talking
one
about.
that is not shit is the waggle, no, the twisty controller for Arkanoid.
Yes, that's fantastic. Yeah, the slider, isn't
That's a
it?
good
That's
one.
so good. Yeah, I really hate the fact that they ditched the GBA port for the
Yeah,
DSi,
big pity.
because that just makes playing Space Invaders Extreme and Arkanoid less fun.
Yeah.
Like massively less fun. Because with the slider, they're just incredible. But I'm
It's
talking.
just such a pity, by the way, that they never ported Camel Try to the DS.
Yeah,
Camel Try on DS with that slider would be perfect.
that really would. But no, I was thinking more of the Guitar Hero grip.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
That was something.
I mean,
Yeah.
in all fairness, good on them, because those plastic peripherals were so popular. So you can't blame them for trying to shoehorn it onto the DS. And
Yeah.
wasn't there even a GBA version, or am I misremembering the past?
I don't remember there being a GBA one.
Yeah, I'm probably misremembering
Don't
the
think
past,
so.
and in that case.
But yeah, the Guitar Hero grip was just, for those who haven't seen it, Google a picture of it. It's fantastic. It plugs into the GBA slot, and it's got the buttons from the Guitar Hero controller. And then you hold the DS like a book, but which with other hand you are dominant in, and then you play it on there with that hand, and then you strum with the stylus. But you can make it easier and not do any strumming at all, which on the easiest setting, which does make it a little bit better. I did buy it just because I was like, I have to try this and see what it's like. It was not great, but they also released a drum skin as well, which was a silicone peripheral made by Activision again, that came with Band Hero, which was not great either. There was also a piano keyboard as well. Did anyone see this one when it
I
came
didn't
out?
see that one. No.
I didn't know.
I may
Yeah.
have seen it in shops, but I never played it or anything.
Yeah, I've never played this one. It came out as about 30 quid when it came out, and it was meant to be able to teach you to play piano, because there was a piano teaching software. Yeah, I won't say a game, but there was a software that came out. It definitely came out in Europe.
I'm not sure right now. Was that Pokemon typing keyboard? Was it for DS or was it 3DS already?
That was for DS. That was a wireless one, yeah, because it came out with when the DSi was out, so it was a wireless keyboard, and you could use it to speak to Pikachu.
Yeah, it's a good one. I still have
Yeah.
that. Good
I was
keyboard.
really surprised they didn't do Typing of the Dead.
That's true. Yeah, missed opportunity here.
Yeah, it's like, just do Typing of the Dead. That would have sold more of those bloody keyboards. But yes, there was those. We also got Rumble Pack as well, which came with Metroid
Oh, right.
Prime Pinball.
Yep.
And one of the Pokemon. Was it Pokemon Pinball as well? That also came with a Rumble Pack. Again, these things do not work in a DSi. You got the pedometer as well, which came with the Pokemon one, and there was also the other one that came out for what was the name of it? The one where it was like a get fit training or something like that, and it would take your steps. So every day you could leave your DS at home and just take your little pedometer with you, and then when you come back, you turn on the game, and then it syncs up, and it says, cool, you've done this many today, well done. And you're like, well, what is the point in this game? But now that is on every single phone, and we all wear watches that have this stuff on it. It's like, and this was just something Nintendo did as an aside, way before anyone else was doing this stuff. It's incredible to think how far ahead they were back then. There was also a GPS, which was third party, that came out, which had Google Maps on it, which was quite cool. What else was there? There was in Japan, they released a FM radio converter as well.
Okay, that is really cool.
Yep, and
now I want that.
And a TV tuner in Japan.
Oh, it's Game Gear all over
TV
again.
Tuner. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that until I was researching it for this, and I was seeing it. Yeah, insane. I can't believe they did that. Just like the Game Gear. And yes, and we also got the Opera web browser cartridge.
Yep, remember that.
Yeah, but there was also another one, a memory expansion pack, which released alongside the browser, and this would then you could plug it in, and it would have the browser software on it as well. So it'd make it easier for you to be able to. So it gave you more RAM to be able to browse the internet. So it was
interesting. I had no idea. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that was a Japan only thing apparently. But yes,
makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, it was an amazing little system really for being able to do all this stuff that we just have in one device now. It's like we do everything. Everything is on our phone. Like if we want to watch something, everything like that. And there were video cards, weren't there? Video cartridges, which contained like a few episodes of things like SpongeBob or something.
Well, that was on Game Boy Advance actually.
Yeah. My daughter, I bought quite a few for my daughter. She had things like Dora the Explorer and nonsense like that.
Yeah. I think I was a bit too old, and my son was a bit too young for me. He didn't really play games at the time. He was only 2, 3 when the DS came out, so yeah, he's a bit young then. I think his very first game console was a DSi, actually.
My eldest daughter Emily, she was 5 when the DS came out, and we basically gave her one and said that it was from her little sister Alice, who had just been born, because we were terrified that she was going to get super jealous of the new baby. So we gave her a DS. So she's had a DS since she was 5 years old, and she loved things like Animal Crossing, Pokemon. So she got really into the machine, and she had a lot of obviously these Imagine games, which is how I know about them.
Yeah, that makes sense. My son, his first, so my eldest son, who's now 24, when he got his DSi, he got it because he was really into Inazuma 11, the cartoon.
Quite a few came out on that, didn't they?
Yeah, we ended up having to buy them all.
I think 3 or so.
Yeah, but there was variants as well, so it was like different color team. So yeah, we had to get all of the Inazuma 11 stuff. But yeah, that was the reason he got a DS, because he was watching the cartoon. And as soon as we found out there was a game, he was like,
yep.
And that's how we learned how to read as well, and things like that, like really well, like because he was playing this RPG. It was a football RPG, but it's still an RPG. And yeah, that he's still very much into RPGs now. But not.
Thinking about that, I think this was for a level 5, the golden age, basically, right? You had a couple of Professor Layton games, you had the Inazuma 11 games, and then on 3DS you had the Yokai Watch games. So
yeah,
they were really raking it in.
My next son was obsessed with Yokai Watch. my second son. Like
Mhm.
yeah, his first game console was a 2DS. You know, the one that looked like a doorstop.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's and he got that because he was really into Yokai Watch cartoon. So again, that was the thing. Before we go on to like our games that we really liked,
Yeah.
but I was thinking we could talk quickly about some cancelled DS games. Okay, so
Right. Mm-hmm.
there was a couple of surprising ones actually. So
I've
there
still got
was.
one of them.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that in a sec. So I've got one of these on my DS as well, which is Batman Arkham Asylum. Was
Yeah.
in
Okay.
development in 2009 for the Nintendo DS. They released the prototype for it in the end, and that is and it's just a couple of rooms that you can go in, some thugs that you can beat up, and then go out, and then that's it. But it's actually quite competent at what it does. But the Batman model looks more like the Dark Knight trilogy Batman than he does the Arkham series Batman. But there is a ROM out there that you can get, so it's good to be able to play it anyway. Darren, what was the one you were going to say?
I've got, and I've still got it, the original review cartridge, because DS cartridges for review were really weird. They were like kind of quite long,
Mm-hmm.
and I've still got the one for Gauntlet,
They
That
made a
was one of the games.
Gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet DS. Yeah,
and it was and again it was a completely finished game. We actually had it on the cover
Mm-hmm.
because it
yeah,
was supposed to be coming out, and then for whatever reason it got cancelled. I think it's now been like leaked, but at one
yeah. That's
point
it now, yeah.
somebody offered me something like £700 for it,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Wow.
obviously turned them down because I'm pretty sure at that stage, aside from the fact that obviously that's a very naughty thing to do, um, I think they were all stamped as well, so you would be able to tell which magazine it came from. So
So yeah,
Right.
but
it
yeah,
can come back and bite you.
I don't think it's worth anything now because obviously you can easily get it online via the naughty web. But yeah, at the time people were desperate and they knew that we had it because obviously we'd reviewed it and we did this cover, and yeah, the amount of people who were like trying to buy it off me was silly.
So I
That's
wonder, because I haven't seen it yet, what kind of Gauntlet is it? Is it the original game or is it one of the newer ones?
No, it's a
brand new.
brand new Gauntlet.
Ah, okay. 2D or 3D?
Um, 2D top down. It's a
Oh.
bit muddy in places, muddy looking, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a perfectly decent
Yeah.
adaptation of the
Used
game.
It's 3D like character models and stuff, but in a
Yeah,
top-down environment.
Okay.
So
Got it.
it kind of looks like a PS1 game,
Mm-hmm.
but it's good fun. But it has an experience point system as well in
yeah,
it, which was the first game in the series to do that.
yeah. It was really good. I played it a while back, and it still holds up really well. I mean, it's obviously very limited because it's
Yeah,
a Gauntlet game.
yeah, but
Um,
it's a good Gauntlet game though.
yeah,
It is a really good version of Gauntlet. It's just a shame that you wouldn't be able to play it multiplayer because like no one else has it, unless they
Mm.
download it obviously now. But yeah, that was from Backbone, wasn't it? They were the
that's right.
developer. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the games that I was going to mention as well. Another one was Black and White Creatures, which
Mm-hmm.
was which was going to be a version of Black and White from the PC. But I do remember seeing images of that in probably Endgamer magazine.
Yeah, that
Uh,
rings a bell.
yeah, I definitely remember seeing it. There was another game. What was it? A Geist. Do you remember Geist on the GameCube?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was never officially announced, but it leaked as part of the Nintendo data leak that it was in development for the Nintendo DS.
Oh, that's interesting. Did they cancel it when they realised how terrible the
The
GameCube
GameCube
version
one.
was?
Yeah. There was also a game from Yu Saito called Mario Motors. So he was the creator of things like
Mm-hmm.
Seaman and
Yep.
things like that. which was going to be a touchscreen and stylus craft, and you'd move the cars around with different like abilities and stuff. And apparently Iwata and Miyamoto loved it and everything, but then it was cancelled. But he will never say why, which is a shame.
Very interesting.
His games, even if they're not great, are interesting and
Yeah.
worth playing. Because it's a really good 3DS Aero Porter game, isn't there, that he made, which is really cool. But not that much fun, but actually really cool. Which is like most of his games that you can say that about. There was a Mass Effect Corsair, which was never officially announced again, but has since leaked that they were working on it. It was going to be a first-person game, and yeah, but they ended up realizing after like prototyping it that it just wouldn't fit onto a Nintendo DS cartridge.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And there was obviously Metroid Dread, which was then later brought back to life. Where was the other one that I saw that was... Oh! Where was it? There was one more that I saw. Oh yeah, there was Heroes of Hyrule, which was going to be from Retro Studios, sort of a Final Fantasy Tactics style Legend of Zelda.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I would have played the hell out of that back, I think.
Yeah. So they prototyped it, pitched it to Nintendo, and it was never given the green light. But that's disappointing to know there's a prototype out there that you'll never get to play. Because you know that if it's from Nintendo, that prototype is never getting out.
Yeah.
Unless it gets leaked.
Yeah, but Nintendo, the only thing that gets leaked is like their documentation and stuff, but never their code, which is a shame. Which is a real shame.
Is, yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on then to our game. So we'll start with you, Darren. Do you want to go for your like top 10 essential Nintendo DS games?
Yeah, they're not in any particular order.
Yeah, doesn't. Yeah.
But basically, I've gone for Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars because it's the best GTA game and it's the only GTA game I play. I still play it. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it still staggers me that basically you had a Nintendo console which basically had a drug simulator on it, and it just came out. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic game. I've got Phoenix right now. I know that obviously it technically started off life in the GBA, but you've got the main standalone case, which made great use of the DS's abilities, and it kind of properly introduced me to visual novel style games. So I've got a soft spot for it, so it goes on the list. This one might be a bit of a curveball. Geometry Wars Galaxies.
That's on mine.
Interesting.
That's so good. It's so bloody good.
I love shoot 'em ups. There's not really many good shooters on the DS. That's one of the areas where it does fall down. And I put an insane amount of time into this, and I even linked it up with like the Wii version and unlocked everything. It's just a really, really good arena shooter, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I've got Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon because I love the Fire Emblem series, and it's a really good remake of. I want to say the first. Is it the first game?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And
It's a remake of the first. Yeah.
they just did a really, really good job with it, and yeah, I can't get enough of Fire Emblem. So I've got all the physical releases apart from when they did that stupid one in America, which came in a like £80 box set and just came with a digital code. And then after that, I was kind of like, yeah, you're not having my money anymore if you're pulling off pranks like that. But yeah, it's very, very good. Good introduction to the series, and makes good use of the DS's capabilities. Tetris DS. I mean, you could put loads of puzzle games on it, from like Meteos and Henry Hatsworth Puzzle and Adventures and all of that. But Tetris DS is it's still probably my favorite DS game, Tetris game, even more so than like actual Tetris. I just love the different game modes in it. It feels so inventive. It does a great job of linking into like the various Nintendo IP. Yeah, it's great. Mario Kart DS, largely because we spent so much time on Games TM playing that at lunchtimes and stuff, just having like competitions and everything. It was really, really good. Professor Layton and the Curious Village. I think again all the Professor Layton games are great, but I've gone for that one because it was the first one, if I recall correctly, and we
Mhm.
played it a lot as a family, and we would like take it in turns doing the puzzles between us all. Um, so yeah, I've got a lot of it's more heart memories with that than anything else. WarioWare touched because the WarioWare games are really clever, and I love all the inventive use of the stylus in it.
That
I've
was also on
also
my list.
I've also gone for Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Again, you could put
Mhm.
all the Castlevania games on there, and I I was pushing for Order of Ecclesia, but Dawn of Sorrow, I liked the fact that it continued the adventures of Soma. The whole inventory of items that you can use is like mind-bogglingly comprehensive, and it's got some great boss fights.
It's just
And
like the
my
best
Yep.
soundtrack of the three as well. Like,
And there's
and
also
then
there's this one magic moment at the beginning here, right? When you just walk into that snowy village and you have just these tiny details, like you jump on that
yeah,
car and the car
and the
is
on the
snow
car and
falls
the
falling
down.
onto
snow
you.
falls down. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
I
my
That really
final
tells you,
game,
okay, this game is made with a lot of love.
yeah.
and then my final game, which again is a bit of a curveball, and it's not an exclusive, but it's so good, is Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah,
which
that
is
is really good. That is a really good game. They
well
did
somehow they crammed the Xbox 360 version into a DS, and it's a phenomenally impressive achievement, and it kind of like come full circle because Viva Pinata had always originally been intended to be for the the PC Palm Pilot or whatever their Microsoft's handheld PDA was at the time.
yeah.
And then it moved over to the Xbox 360, and yeah, it got converted to the DS, and it's a phenomenal piece of work, very impressive.
Yeah, it's a really cool. I really love that version.
But yeah, they're all my picks. You can't really go wrong with any of those. But there are loads of great games on the DS, obviously.
No, it's a good list. What about
Mhm.
you, Thomas?
Okay, well, let's go. So my list, I'm starting out. So my list is just alphabetically because I can't put any sort of order in there because they're so different. So I'm starting out with Seventh Dragon, which is an RPG that is sort of, I would say, the secret best RPG on the whole system. And sadly, it's only out in Japan, but it got a translation patch a couple of years ago. And so this game is made by incredible people. So you have the designer from Etrian Odyssey, you have producer is Riko Kodama from Sega,
Oh,
and music is by Yuzo Koshiro. Oh wait,
oh
no,
yeah, I remember this
is
being
it is it Koshiro? I think it's Koshiro. Anyway, it's really good. So
yeah.
basically, it feels a bit like Dragon Quest meet Etrian Odyssey. So you have the high difficulty level, you have your own party that you make, and but it's played on a top-down view like Dragon Quest.
No,
And
that
there's a
does sound cool. Is there's an English translation?
there's a patch out now,
Cool. I'm gonna have to try.
and the patch is wonderful. It's really well made, and it has two very cool mechanics. And the one thing is there's a dragon counter, so every dragon you defeat is permanently gone from the game, and also the whole world is covered in flowers that are poisonous. When you walk across them, they disappear, and that's also a permanent thing. So you over time you can really permanently clear out areas to make them safe again. And that just feels so good to me. It just hits that completionist button in my brain. So
Nice.
yeah,
Can I
well when I
before you carry on, Thomas? Can I
yeah
just quickly say that I want to sack off Phoenix Wright because I forgot to put Owendin in my list, and Owendin is incredible.
oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Great
Good
game.
idea.
Carry on.
Okay, so yeah, uh, Next one's also a role-playing game. It's Dragon Quest IX. So I thought about it for a bit. I mean, you have 4 great Dragon Quest games. Actually, 4.5 if you count in Rocket Slime, which is also wonderful.
Yeah, that's
But
good fun.
Dragon Quest IX is just very special because it had that amazing community feature with the map exchange and the multiplayer. And I recall going to Gamescom back in the day, take my DS with me and collecting maps all the time. And that was an amazing thing. And I think I would also argue that the Dragon Quest map collecting system was a bit of a precursor to Street Pass
Pass.
later on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And yeah, it's really it's a big pity that we can't play Dragon Quest IX anymore the way it's intended.
We can get to that with because I want to go
Yep.
through games that are stuck on DS.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one.
But even if you play it on DS, you can't do it anymore the way it's intended because the servers
Yeah.
are down. You can't go to the online shop anymore. You can't get the maps anymore. So yeah, that game is at the moment really, really well not playable.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad
Okay.
because it's such a great Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that again. I can just share that story. We were at Nintendo in Frankfurt, right next to where I live, basically. They had the yearly Posty 3 event with lots of Dragon Quest stuff, and they had a big Dragon Quest bar that they would ship out to conventions later on. And this was before 9 was launched, and they said, wouldn't it be really cool if they just gave each of us a Dragon Quest when we leave? And well, that's what they did. And we
Oh,
played the
nice.
hell out of it.
So good.
Okay, then next one is also a pretty cool one. It's Electroplankton, which is what even is it? Is it an instrument? Is it a music app? Is it just a toy? It's a bit of all of them, I would say. Is it sort of a concept album in a digital form? So I mean, all you do is you have these different screens and scenes, and you can just manipulate them to create sounds and sounds approaching music. And I think it's just this wonderful. It has this toy quality to it that just makes it a joy to get out again and again.
It's very experimental as well, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. And I'm very happy they brought that to the West as well.
Yeah, I was surprised they did, but I'm glad they did. It's fantastic.
Okay, next one's probably maybe my all-time favorite DS game or series. That is Ep28 Odyssey. So because on the one hand, it's a fantastic RPG with a great storyline and great surprises. The music is fantastic. It's Yuzo Koshiro again. But the thing is, it's a game that for me only works on the DS. Because did you guys play Ep28 Odyssey ever?
I tried it, but it wasn't for me.
I know the feeling. It took me also, I think, 3 tries to get into it. It's probably thanks to Jeremy Parish that I really, at some point, got into it and got it.
Why I wanted to get into it, because I kept seeing him talking about it and hearing him talking about it, and I thought I've got to give this a go. So I gave it a go, and I'm like, it's not for me. I like the idea, but it's not for me.
Yeah, so the thing is, it will come again. I am an absolute fiend if I can draw maps in games. I love that stuff. And of course, Ep28 Odyssey is 50% map drawing on the lower screen. And it feels just so good to make progress every time you play it. You go to the dungeon, you take a few more steps, you make your map a little bit better. You might even find a shortcut somewhere, and every turn into the dungeon gets you a bit of progress. And even if you die, you still keep the map you made, and that is something that really feels great to me. And yeah, I played through all of the Ep28 Odyssey games over the year, and I was pretty happy when they came to the modern systems. But in the end, it's not the same. You want your stylus in your hand to draw the map on the lower screen, so you can always look up, look down to the map. There's a battle. Wait a minute, I just make the map complete, and then I'll fight the battle. And the way the map is handled in the newer ones just doesn't hit it. And
Did they not come out on the 3DS as well as Switch?
Yep.
Yeah.
The 3DS is perfectly fine. Switch is it's an okay port. PC as well, but it's not the same for me.
Yeah, I feel that way
And
about some games that have been ported. I'm like,
even today, I'm still mad they never made an Ep28 Odyssey game for the Wii U, because that would have been the perfect match.
yeah,
They needed people to buy Wii U games though.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
It would have been perfect, but there was just no install base, was there, on that system, unfortunately?
Not at all. Not at all, sadly. I'm pretty sure there may be even prototype one, but yeah, didn't make sense for them. Okay, then we have, again, keeping with map subject, also, I think, last RPG on the list, Final Fantasy IV. So this is basically a game for Final Fantasy IV sickos. So the game is hard as
So
hell.
hard. Yeah.
It expects you to be familiar with Final Fantasy IV on the original game because it's subverted at every part again.
Yeah.
And it has a few very cool systems. And again, it has this idea on the lower screen. Everywhere you go, it's mapping out your progress. Every time you complete a map 100%, you get a little item, something useful, something nice. And that, again, really triggers my mind. And I want to complete all of these maps. And I love that.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it has great music. And it's still Final Fantasy IV, which means it's a great RPG.
Yeah. Just hard as balls. Just
Yep.
so hard.
Okay, then complete different thing now. Did you guys know Go Go Cosmo Cops?
No.
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay, seriously, go on eBay, get yourself a copy because it's great. It's an arcade game from Namco. It's played
Okay.
in that book format, and it's a little bit like maybe that Donkey Kong climbing game. You have to climb up the stages, but you can also grab 2 bits and slingshot yourself upwards.
Oh, cool.
So it's a very fun game. It's very simple, very quickly understood.
What's
and
it called again?
Go Go Cosmo Cops.
Okay.
And now the wild thing about this thing is, it's a Namco game, but it only came out in Europe ever.
How have I never heard of this?
I think it came pretty late. It was just basically, yep, here it is. Let's forget about it. They just buried it when it came out.
Yeah, I was like
So-
hardcore into DS and like I can't. Man.
There is basically, in theory, there is a Japanese version that was never released. It's still in the DS code. You can unlock it with a few hacks and so on. But as of now, it's only out as a European cartridge. It's not that expensive, and let's hope it stays that way. So that's really a hidden gem, I think.
Wow, I'm just looking at it now. It looks bloody awesome.
Yeah, it's a very fun game. It's very, as I said, quickly understood. It's very arcadey, and I love that about it.
Oh yeah, it is quite reasonably priced, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think nobody just ever heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, even if I, who was heavily into DS at the time, didn't hear of it, that shows.
And it only got a European release.
Yep.
Yeah,
Japanese release was cancelled for whatever reason.
it's £8 in CEX.
Well, there you go.
Damn, that's good. That's only £6 more expensive than Russell Grant's tarot reading.
Hmm. That is a hard choice, though.
I know.
Okay,
what
well,
else
next
you
on the
got?
list is Meteors.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah, big fan of that. It's the first game I imported for the DS when it came out in Japan. At first, I didn't get into it. I thought I wanted something more like Luminous, I guess. But again, once it clicked, it really clicked, and I just love the way the game plays with the physics in the different stages. And again, it's
Lovely
one
music
that...
as well.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And again, it's a game I would say that only really works on the DS the way it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Did it get released anywhere else? I know it was on mobile.
Yeah, it came out by now.
Yeah.
It came out later, but I just didn't feel like waiting.
Yeah. That's really
Okay.
good.
Then one I
was-
really loved... Sorry, please?
I was going to say there was a Disney version as well,
Yeah,
wasn't there?
yeah, that's good.
Would you say it's better than the original one, or are they just
No.
basically same
No,
quality?
it's just like, obviously, if you like Disney, and
Yeah, I really don't.
yeah, so
Oh, for you.
I do. So
Okay.
so yeah, I've got it in my collection.
Well, you're still the Meteors game, so it can't be all bad.
Exactly.
It still plays like Meteors, which is good. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's all Disney music and things. So,
Okay, well, to go on, 3 left to go. I really loved Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. Did you play that?
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's going to be on my list.
It's,
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
Oh no.
Like, I just think it gets too difficult. But I do like it. But yeah.
It has a couple
Anyway.
of spikes, but I love playing the Undead faction towards the end. They are so much fun.
Yeah, I didn't get that far.
Yeah, that is good. I bought it again on Switch. But
Yeah, I think it's a
again,
pretty good port.
it's good, but it's still not as good as having the bottom screen.
I think the port to PS3 looked beautiful, but it had terrible loading times. That killed it for me there. So I think if you want to play it, best way to do it is that's on Switch. No, it's not on Switch, on DS. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely the DS version. Yeah.
Okay, then again, one that is very very dear to me is Retro Game Challenge,
Oh,
which
great
is of
choice.
course the American version of Game Center CX. So this is basically again a very early instance of these 4 retro games we have nowadays very often. It's a collection of fictional retro games you play one after another, and you have to do challenges in each one of them that are given to you by a Polygon Arena.
Yeah.
And the games are all are mostly really fun. You don't stay with one too long if you want to just progress, but you still can play through them if you feel like it. And the thing that really sells it for me is the magazines you can get in game, which have, of course, some hints and some cheats, but also news and stuff like that. And they are written by actual journalists.
Yeah, because John Davison's in there, isn't he? And the likes of that.
They also
East
have they have Halverson in there as well.
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, it is a really fun game. Another one that didn't come out over here, but it was one
only
that,
in the States and Japan.
It's
and they
very
did
expensive
import
in the
it.
States now, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
think so, yeah. I mean, it's Atlas, so yeah, there you go.
yeah, but it's a fantastic game though. It really is brilliant.
Yep, it's a
And
pity they never brought the second one, but again, the second one has
Yeah,
also
'cause
a fine
the second one
translation.
had- The second one's games that were inside it look so good.
Yeah, they go for 16-bit now.
Yeah, I mean the 8-bit ones that are in Retro Game Challenge are really good, especially like the Ninja Gaiden style one. I love that one.
Yep.
But yeah, the ones that they had for the 16-bit version, I was like, oh my god, please come out, please come out, please come out. No.
Yeah, the second one even has a full-on adventure in the style of Protopia Murder Case.
Oh no, that'd been awesome.
I mean, you can play it, as I said. There's a fan translation out now.
Okay, I didn't know. I'll have to do that as well, along with Seventh
Okay.
Dragon.
Yep, and finally, I was a little bit torn between 2 games, so I killed one from my list. Between Tingle and Solar Robo, but I went with Solar Robo because it's just it's very late. It's technically absolutely amazing. It's from CyberConnect 2, and it's basically, I would say, the closest thing we could get to a new Mega Man Legends game in a way. So it's a 3D third-person action adventure where you play this dog person called Red, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's a stunning game, and it was the first region-locked game.
Oh, that's
True, yeah.
interesting. It's
Yeah.
very expensive now. Maybe that's part of the reason why it's so expensive.
Yeah, because the European it works on a DS Lite and a DS, like anywhere in the world. But if you've got a DSi, you can't play the American version, and vice versa. The PAL one can't be played. But the PAL
Yeah,
one,
because they had different publishers, I think.
yeah, but the PAL one definitely has the best box art. Like even over the Japanese one, it's very similar to the Japanese one, but the PAL one is slightly better.
Yeah, you know, one thing I still have stuck here in my place, in my the doors of my living room, is a postcard for the new year from the developers from CyberConnect, with a motive when the game was still called Solar Robo, without the Solar To Robo.
Oh, cool!
And I'll never give that away. And one fun story about that, to quickly come to an end now. Many years ago, when the DS was still sort of on the way out in German stores, I was in Berlin with a study course I had going to a conference. We went to a local electronics store, and I saw, oh, look up. They are selling, they are basically throwing out their Solar Robo games. It's €5 each. Guys, believe me, buy the game, you won't regret it. So a couple of them did, and yep, they did not regret it.
And
I mean, even if they didn't play it, they can sell it for a lot of money these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, I was so excited about that game when I saw it because I remember seeing the game that it was meant to be like a spiritual sequel to on the PS1 that only came out in Japan from CyberConnect 2.
Oh no, that's also in the States. If you talk about the same game.
Oh, it came out in the States. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
what was it called again? Help me out there.
I can't remember. I was trying to think about that when you first mentioned it. But yeah, I was like, oh my god, I was obsessed by looking at that in magazines in the 90s. So I was like, I have to play this game now. So I bought Red as soon as it came out.
I think you mean Tail Concerto, right?
That's it. Yes.
Yep, that has an American release.
Oh man, I did not know it came out in America.
And
But
also,
yeah.
of course, expensive as hell.
Yeah, I bet it is. But yeah, that's that Solitaire Rowboat is so good. But yes, my 10 are going to be completely different to what I had written down because you guys have taken 9 of my 10.
No. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I
So
feel bad.
no, it's fine. It was going to happen, right? So I'm going to put in the first one that I'll say for this one will be the one that you guys didn't choose, and that's Ghost Trick.
Good
Yeah,
point. Yeah. Great
I
game.
was tempted with that one, but I've played it more on the Switch, to be fair, even though it's not quite as good on the Switch.
Yeah, it does miss out a little bit on the Switch. It is really good though. I love it on the Switch. I play through it again on that. But yeah, playing that for the first time on the DS, it was like spiritual. I absolutely adored the writing. I loved the visuals and the puzzles were really clever. Oh, one of my favorites. So next, these games are now moving into my top 10 rather than they are my top 10. So just for people listening, this isn't my original top 10. So The World Ends With You is another one.
Oh yeah.
Which is a dual screen JRPG set in Shibuya. You have a countdown timer for like when you're going to die in like 7 days and you've got to go through. But the cool thing about it is when you go into a battle, you control 2 characters, one on the top screen, one on the bottom screen as your party. And it's absolutely brilliant. Banging soundtrack as well. But yeah, absolutely brilliant game.
Can I just chime in here quickly? I want to add
Yeah.
2 things. When I was in Shibuya for the first time, that was after I played World Ends With You, and I was really looking around. Oh, I know that place. Oh, look, it's the Maya Head, and so on. That was really cool.
That is
And of
awesome.
course, the music is fantastic. Maybe one of the best
Such
DS soundtracks there is.
Yeah, I bought that on iTunes when
I still got the CD around here.
I was like, I have to have this on my iPod. But yeah, this was when we used to take one device with. We used to take multiple devices with us instead of one back in the day.
And I add one more thing. I would argue it's Tetsuya Nomura's best game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like,
Maybe even its only good game, but now I'm leaning out here. No, let's not go there.
Don't you be smashing on my Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I will. Let's not do that.
I'm going to go with Henry Hatsworth. I know it was mentioned before, but I'm going to use that. I love that. It's a fantastic puzzle platformer. And I was so excited about the Mickey Mouse game that they did on the 3DS because it was the same developers. And then it ended up being utter shit.
Are you familiar with the pseudo sequel to Henry Hatsworth?
No, which one's that?
Monster Tale.
Oh yes, Monster Tale. Yep.
Also, same guys.
Yeah, that's the same guys. That might make my list if I can't think of more because that's another game that is fantastic.
Nice.
New International Track and Field.
Yeah, that was good.
Lots of Konami fan service here.
Yeah, such a great game. It's very much like that racer they did on the GBA, but with the International Track and Field game, but with loads and loads of Konami fan service. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Because I'm having to do this on the fly, you're going to have to hear me do this. Oh, Rock Band 3. Now, this did not need a peripheral. This played more like amplitude and things like that. So where you're going down the track, I guess you would call it, and you're playing the different instruments and switching from one lane to another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a portable amplitude or frequency. I think it's a really good version on the DS. There's a very limited track selection and no DLC to expand your collection.
That's
But
a shame.
but it is a really fun game for what it is. It's just a new version of amplitude or frequency. Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution.
I've not played it, but I've heard really good things about it.
I would say it's the best version of that game. I loved it on the 360 as well, but the DS version, like I said, it's with the touchscreen and everything like that. It just makes the game a lot better. Let's go with let's go with no, let's not go with that. Let's go with Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story.
Good choice.
Which it's such a funny game. Like the writing is hilarious in it. and the way that you're playing as Mario and Luigi inside Bowser, and then you're controlling Bowser as well. It's genius, because the game changes. So when you're playing as Mario and Luigi, you're playing it in the normal way, but then when you're playing as Bowser, you switch to the book style holding of the console, and it's just it's absolutely fantastic. They have never made a game as good as that in the series since, which is such a shame. I will go with Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations.
That's the third one, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got the cases in that are just so clever that I genuinely was gasping as things happened in them. And I didn't get that again in the series until the Great Ace Attorney, the one that's set in Victorian London.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the next time that I started going, oh my god, no way, that sort of thing when things happen. But yes, Trials and Tribulations was the first. How many have I done now? 5, 6. I will go with Professor Layton and the Unwound Future,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is the third again, isn't it?
I can't say. I'm not too familiar with the exact order.
But yeah, that one for me, that stands out for me because I'm a real sucker for like that whole time travel-y part of it. It's really good, and like the story is excellent, and the puzzles are just fantastic in that as well. Oh god, I'm trying to think of more. I'll go with Chrono Trigger just because
It's a wonderful port.
it's such a good port. It's the best way to play Chrono Trigger, because
Mm-hmm.
you've got the cutscenes from the PlayStation version, and then you've got the music and the no loading of the Super Nintendo version.
They got the music perfectly right. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, so good. I will then go with Advance Wars Dual Strike, just because
Mm-hmm.
I put probably about 200 hours into that game. And the way that you would control the two screens as well was really good, where you could move your units from one screen to another. It's brilliant. Mr. Driller Drill Spirits as another one.
Another
For me.
good choice.
Again, great soundtrack. Sorry. Bangai Spirits.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fantastic version of that Dreamcast game. N64, if you will. And then I'm going to go with Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime.
Yeah, that's
great
really cool
game.
as well.
Love it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how good that game was. I bought
Also,
that.
how funny it was.
Yeah, it was so funny. But it was just the way that it was Dragon Quest, but from a different perspective as well. It was like, this is absolutely amazing.
That's the only Dragon Quest game I've completed.
That's a good going as well, because it's not an easy game either. Rocket Slime.
I'm not a big fan of RPGs, but I really liked that game for some reason, and it's really good fun. Just those crazy tanks that you control.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to play that again. Actually, I might do that this week. Actually, I could do
Is
it.
that still an exclusive as well?
It is, yes, never been
Nice.
re-released. Yeah. And I will say my last game will be Radiant Historia, which is an Atlas JRPG from isn't it from the people who make Star Ocean and stuff as well?
Don't think so, no.
No, who is it? There was another team that made it, wasn't it? Inside Atlas that worked on something else. I can't remember, but it's a really good time travel JRPG.
It's an Atlas entirely developed game.
Okay.
So not Tri-S and not Tri-Crescendo or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just Atlas, but I remember reading something about them. But yeah, it's a really good, really great game with fantastic soundtrack, beautiful visuals as well. Yeah, that is it for my
One
10.
thing I love about it is you don't play an idiot as your hero. That's a big plus.
Yeah, you're playing as an actual soldier who's
as a
actually
competent person.
Yes, and he's now
Very
a charter.
unusual.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fantastic game. There's a really good port on 3DS as well of that.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
just gonna mention that. I mean, to be fair, while I'm not a huge fan of the genre, there are a lot of like really good RPGs on the DS.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's a haven for it. I mean, you've got stuff like there's a game called Nostalgia. Have you guys played that?
Hmm. Found it for $5 in the States once.
Yeah, I've got it really cheap as well, like on American import. I think I got it from VGP, and it was on sale at like
Mhm.
$9.99. So I just thought I'll give it a try. It's an RPG, and it's meant to be set in London as well. So I was like, yeah, let's try it. And yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's just like it was like the second coming of the Super Nintendo in terms of RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. There's another Sands of Destruction, I think, was another one I really liked from Sega.
Yeah, that was sort of back then said to be very Xenogears like.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good as well. But yeah, it's such a great little system. And the thing is as well, like so many of these games are still stuck there.
Hmm.
Which, yeah, I mean, we've got, like we've already mentioned, like the Yoshi Touch and Go, that's stuck there. The Zeldas are stuck there. What else is you've
Feel
got?
the Magic, Hotel
Got-
Dusk,
yeah.
Advance
Oh man,
Wars, Days of Ruin, Henry
Solitaire Robo.
Hatsworth.
Solitaire Robo, yeah. It's all of these games that are just absolutely incredible and should be played. Just can't, unless you go out and
Mm.
buy the hardware.
In all
Games.
fairness, it's part of the reason why I have kept my DS. Like I've been selling off a lot of my games. I got
Yeah.
rid of my GBA collection. I got rid of my SNES collection, and one of the main reasons I've kept the DS is not just because I do love the system, but there is no real good way via emulation that you can play it authentically, as it were.
Yeah. Well, I even tried on the Wii U. I bought some of the games on that to play through the Virtual Console.
Mm.
It was not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be a DS. And like even if you play it on the 3DS, you like it looks a bit crap.
Yeah, and even if you like use the Steam emulator, so you can like do a touchscreen and stuff, it just I don't know. There's just something about that system, and yeah, I just like I can get by with playing GBA games on my Steam Deck and SNES games via my mini SNES, but yeah, I can't get rid of the DS because there's no proper way to enjoy those games other than on a DS.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I think. That's why I still have. I have 4 DSs.
Very
Kicking
nice.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same. Every model.
yeah. I've got one of each.
It
Because it's
also
just
makes sense in a way because they're all in their way charming, interesting, and worth playing still.
because the DS Lite is the best looking of the 4. Right, it just
It's
looks.
also, I would say, the most versatile for
Yeah.
reasons I'll get into in a second.
Yeah. But then, like, for me now, I have to use the XL as I've gotten older. I'm like, I really need to be able to see the screen.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's like I need to wear glasses and I need to play on a big screen now. So the DSi XL is the one that I use predominantly, but I do like having them all, and I just can't bear to like lose them because they've all got this aesthetic that's just different, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. I love the DS, like in terms of like its visual appeal. Even the original one, that it just looks so retro chic. It looks like even it looked retro when it came out. It didn't look like a modern system when it came out. It's just
Particularly next to the PSP, which looked like it had come from the future.
yeah, exactly. That made it look even older. I mean, even if you put it next to like the GBASP, it looked older. It's such a weird device, but I love the fact that it came out. There was a really good white version though that was released in Japan of the original DS that looked nice. It was
Yeah, I think the color variations are generally a bit prettier than the
than the stock.
regular silver one.
Yeah. The pink, my ex-wife, she had a pink DS Fat, and that was quite nice as well.
Yeah, I think my daughter's had a pink one.
Yeah, they're quite nice, aren't they? Because I think she got that one because it had the version of Nintendogs that she wanted. So she was like, "Well, I might as well get
I
pink.
see.
It's got the right dog that I want." Rather than, and not because it was pink, it was literally, "Oh, that's the dog that I want. I have to get that one." So
Of course,
yeah,
I mean, there is one thing we have to discuss, the elephant in the room.
yes, go for it.
That's of course the infamous R4 cartridges. So everybody
Yeah.
and their dog copied games on the DS back then after a while.
Yeah,
And I would assume that's one of the reasons why many games at some point stayed in Japan or the States even. And that's also, I think, a reason why they try to update it pretty early with the DSi to at least secure it down a little bit again.
yeah, I think that's probably why they did. Because I was reading Iwata Asks about the DSi, and they were saying it was because they wanted more ways for people to play. I think, yes, that's probably part of it, but I'm also thinking, no, that is because you want to lock this down.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
don't blame me.
while we're on the subject of like the R4, I think one of the other things with the DS where I see parallels with the PlayStation, because you can obviously make the argument that the R4 did make the DS popular in the same way that being able to easily copy PlayStation games made that helped make that popular. And the other thing as well with the DS is it felt like when the DS came out, and particularly once games like Owenden came out, there seemed to be a lot more people importing DS games than any other system at the
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
agreed.
mean, it was of course so good that the DS was just region free,
Yeah, absolutely. I think
and they
that's
really
one of the
fumbled
things
that
that
with the
helped it.
3DS afterwards.
Oh yeah, making that region lock was so stupid.
Yeah,
Particularly as it's a console you can take anywhere.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
if you're going on holiday and you see a game and you're in America or Japan, you're like, well, I can't buy that because I've only got a PAL system.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, again, it's going back to what you said, isn't it? About like Nintendo will forever be Nintendo.
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I recall I bought a 2DS in the States, so just so I could play Shin Megami Tensei 4 back then.
yeah. But like that the piracy really did kill both of the like software sales for both the DS and the PSP, because the PSP was also ravaged with
Oh yeah.
with it as well, which is a shame. It's a
And
damn
of course, I
shame.
mean, nowadays, of course, I would say it's a good thing we have these things because, on the one hand, a couple of games are really expensive and rare nowadays, and on the other hand, as I already mentioned, there's a ton of translations out there now for games you couldn't play before.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. That's why I have one, so that I can play these games that are too expensive or I want to get the English translation of.
I think the other thing as well is that generally, and the DS is a good proof of this. Most video game publishers are absolutely terrible at basically making their back catalogs available.
Yep.
Yeah,
There are so many games which you just can't get, and I know that obviously obviously it's completely illegal to download these games and that. But if you're like if you really want to own like Panzer Dragoon Saga and you
it's the
spend
only way to do it. Yeah,
£500 plus on that game, Sega aren't getting your money.
Yep.
yeah,
Go
Sega
to some
aren't.
scalper.
Yeah, Sega. Whereas it's not even really a scalper, is it? It's just like, unfortunately, that's what the going rate of the
Yeah.
game is now.
True.
And
True.
Sega obviously, for whatever reasons, haven't made it available. So you in a lot of cases, piracy is the only way that you can enjoy a lot of these games, because they're not available on online services. They're not available physical releases. So and some people don't have £1,000 to spend on like Metal Slug and all the rest. So you can kind of see why so many things like the R4 were popular and why so many people continue to use like ODEs. Like, you know, I've got ODEs on my Dreamcast and my
Yeah.
GameCube because so
Yeah.
many you can't play so many of the games. They're just not made available by. And I think it was Frank Civaldi, and they obviously did a thing where they highlighted just how many games are like are lost because they're either they've not been republished or they're just not available on various services and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
So and you know, if you look at how piracy is now exceptionally popular again on films and stuff, and it's because streaming services are doing such a shit job of making stuff easily accessible.
Yeah.
That everybody has now gone back to piracy, whereas one of the main reasons why streaming took off is it was cheap and
And
it
easy.
was easy to use.
Yeah. Now it's not cheap, and if you want it to be cheap, you got to watch loads of adverts, and then half the films you want aren't there. So yeah, but
Yeah,
one,
so
my,
Cross
again, you know,
services.
obviously, I'm
Yeah.
not condoning these. You know, I work in an industry where basically, you know, our magazine gets pirated, but if you can understand why people will basically turn to piracy because either it's the only sensible way for them to be able to enjoy these games, which the companies that own them aren't making them readily available.
yeah, they're not they're not ever going to make money off these games again, right? They're just not.
Not unless they re-release them and
Yeah.
hope that they're going to be popular via like the online stores or stuff.
But this is what annoys me about the Nintendo Switch Online stuff. Is like I can't buy these games.
No.
Yeah.
It's
I was literally discussing this yesterday in another podcast.
it's stupid.
Well, it isn't. It's because it's obviously it's a way that Nintendo can um guarantee a continual stream of revenue
Oh
and
yeah, I get it completely. But to not offer them as an individual purchase as well, you know, like on PlayStation Plus, like the premium one, you get the old classics,
yep.
but you can buy all those games. So
Yeah.
they're
I mean, if
locked to your subscription, which
at least I think they should make the Virtual Boy games really buyable because I mean, I shelled a lot of money for that stupid replica
yeah,
because I am stupid.
I've got one as well. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I mean,
the other thing as well though is obviously we don't know how well like the virtual console did. Like we know that there was obviously 420 odd games released for it. But you know, it could be that they were that only maybe each consumer was only buying maybe 2 or 3 games. So from their point of view, it's pointless. You know,
Yeah,
they're going to make more money if they're charging somebody a flat rate
I
every
mean,
month.
they also know if they make the people pay for it, people will of course all buy Mario World again. Nobody will buy Urban Champion.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. But the thing is, though, it's about giving the people the choice, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
agree.
And if you can,
And that's what piracy does because you can
Yeah.
you can get whatever you want to play because it's available.
yeah, exactly. I use an EverDrive in my Analog 3D, right? Because I'm not paying some of the N64 prices that the people play. But I never play the games on my Switch because it's like, well, they're not really
They're not
mine.
that great.
Yeah, they're not that great. And like Super Nintendo and stuff like that, it's like they're not mine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to play these because I don't own these. And I
I
have
think what
bought them before, but these aren't. I know that at any time these can get pulled because we've already lost some of the Super Nintendo games on that service.
yeah, so you have it's the same with the streaming services. You can get into a TV show and then you can go back to watch it and then you can find out that it's been pulled or they've moved it from the Prime of Amazon and the final like 6 seasons are like you have to pay for. So
Yeah,
yeah, you just don't have the flexibility
yeah,
which unfortunately you have with piracy, and that you know that's a shame
yeah.
because of again obviously none of us condone piracy, but
No,
it's
but it's the
easy
only
to
way
see
to do
why
it.
it's so popular
Yeah,
because it's accessible. It's far more accessible than official releases are.
Yeah, I've never pirated something that has been contemporary.
No, and nor should you. I
No,
mean,
no.
this is
That's-
this is this is one of the things with like films and stuff. Like, a lot of
They're
people,
usually in print, right? You can usually get a
yeah,
DVD or a Blu-ray or or a 4K Blu-ray. You can get these films; they're always available.
yeah, absolutely,
But games just aren't. Like they're just not. They're not always available because it's like the technology moves on, and even PC games. Some PC games are lost because of changes to operating systems and things. You know, it's there isn't there isn't a silver bullet either, which is the worst thing. It's like can we just all agree that everything should just be like re-released and available for us to buy? But the technology's
100%.
moved on. The technology's moves on so quickly in games
yeah.
that we just that the stuff gets left behind, and it's such a shame. I'm so glad that like Frank Cifaldi is doing what he's doing.
Oh,
You know?
absolutely. And
Yep.
I think this is why everybody is losing their shit over the Neo Geo AES, because it's making a prohibitively gate-kept console. It's making the games readily available to people.
Great Mario games from Nintendo, only on Nintendo DS.
What's your favorite version of the Nintendo DS or variant of the Nintendo DS? Darren, what do you reckon?
I would probably go with the Lite, because
Yeah.
I know it didn't have access to the store, and I know, like, I probably wouldn't use it now. I've got obviously the bigger version, but again, it's like a hard choice. My
Yeah.
girls had one, and we all had one each, and basically, we used to play so much stuff on the DS together. So that's the machine I've got the best memories of.
Yeah, that's nice. Thomas?
Yeah, I think the light is the iconic one.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the form factor of the DSi. I wish so. If the DSi XL had a few nicer colors out, we could talk about that one. But I would say, yeah, the light, that's the big one.
Yeah, mine's the light as well. I mean, like I said, I do play more on the XL because of my eyes. That is it, and my arthritis in my hands. But the light is it's beautiful. Like it really
Had
is.
some really funky colors as well.
Oh yeah, some great colors.
True.
My favorite one, because the one I still have is the silver one that came out at the same time as Phantom Hourglass.
I've got a lime green one as well, which is pretty
They're
funky.
lovely.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I love those ones. Oh man, there's so many good colors, and that was the great thing as well. Like Darren, you were saying, with your family had them, we all had them as well.
Well,
Like,
it was kind of like you could almost like personalize your console,
yeah, yeah,
which, and
absolutely.
you don't really get that now. Like, everything now just seems to come in like a couple of boring choices, and that's it.
Mhm.
It's even like the Joy-Con on Switch 2. The only difference now and the color is in underneath the analog stick.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that's a pity. I need to check if they have anything on AliExpress where you can get some cooler colors.
yeah, because at the moment it's just black and boring.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is really dull. Like compared to how awesome it was getting all the different Joy-Con colors, like it was DS time again. You know, it was you were able to personalize your Switch. But the other thing as well, like having the DS Lite and it being so cheap, it meant you could just get them for your kids and get them for other people in your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, these times are over as well.
Yeah, those times are gone. Man, it's a shame. But one
Are
more
you looking forward to spending $1,000 on a PlayStation 6?
Oh, I can't
no,
wait.
no, God, I don't even want to think. I'm just going to keep my PS5 Pro and just hope they support it for like another 5 years. And have
They probably
digital
won't have a
copies when
choice,
the version's
because
rubbish.
who's going to spend $1,000 on a console?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one's going to. This is where they'll get us though with that. Where you can like buy it, pay it off as you go. so they'll get that constant income from you for like
Yeah,
5 years.
I'm just afraid they will just push for some streaming service.
Yeah,
That's
or
really
that.
interesting, actually, isn't it? Where they could effectively take the like the Sky model, where you obviously you get a box and you pay off for the box alongside like the monthly subscription for it. So, oh god, that's depressing, isn't it?
That's where I think they're going to go. That's the only way I think they can go for either Microsoft or PlayStation going forward,
Oh my
because no one's
god.
going to be able to afford to buy their consoles.
Oh, now I'm depressed.
It's going to be shocking. But there is one last thing I do want to mention, and that is games like you mentioned, the Go-Go Cosmo Cops, which I had not heard of. But games that I thought would be utter shit, but are actually good. They're not great, they're good. One of them is The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's really
Oh, yeah.
graphically impressive.
Yep.
Such an impressive game. Didn't come out over here, only came out in Japan and America, but wasn't licensed in Japan, but then licensed in America for the Wizard of Oz license. It's a really cool game. You control Dorothy, and she's on like a trackball, and you kind of roll
Yeah, it has
her.
a cool control scheme, I think.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then you get your party members, like your Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man. And the combat is like a Pokemon style rock paper scissors thing, isn't it? Where certain characters are better against other enemies, and you can see the enemy types before you go into as you're going into battle. So then you choose your party based on the enemies you're facing. But then if you do it with the ones who aren't as strong, you get a better XP increase and stuff. So it's like a risk reward thing. It's really cool. Yeah, I really like that game. And another one that I just want to mention quickly is Star Wars Episode 3, which
I
is
heard about that, yeah.
it's a gorgeous 2D brawler. But it's got 3D space battles like in your ship, which are actually really fun as well. But yeah, I doubt anyone played it, but it's super cheap. I think it's like £2 or something, but it's really, really good. And
Can I make a quick suggestion for something that people may not have played, but is actually really, really good?
go.
Quick Spot.
Which one?
Quick Spot.
Quick Spot. I've not heard of that. What's that?
Right, so it's basically a Namco game, and it's just spot the difference.
Right.
So
Okay.
you will have the same image on
Yeah.
both screens, and you just have to spot all the differences as quickly as possible. And being a Namco game, it's got lots of screens which are based on things like Katamari Damacy. Yeah, it's really, really good fun.
Man, that sounds really cool.
That's
There
US
is
only, isn't it? Just checking it
um
out here.
there is a sequel that came out on Switch, but unfortunately it's Japanese only, and it's all in Japanese, so it's quite hard to play. And the way they've done the multiplayer is there's some ways you have to play it handheld, and some ways you have to play it on undocked and docked, and you can't do both. But yeah, Quick Spot. I don't know how cheap it is now, but it's got like Pac-Man's in it, Mappies in it. It's yeah, it's really, really good fun. Actually, Dave recommended that to me back in the day.
It's quite affordable, but only right. Oh, there's one from the UK for €15.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, it's quite affordable, I'd say.
I'd recommend that. It's really good fun.
I also want to mention one more game. I wouldn't say it's that brilliant actually, but it was surprising at least. Have you ever heard of a game called Princess Debut?
Yes. Yes, I have heard of that one. Yeah.
So it's
No.
a dancing dating game. It
Yeah.
also has in some regions one of these typical Imagine covers with some real model on it. Some other have this very shoujo anime cover. It's not brilliant, but it's fun. It's a bit of Wenda, with a bit of dating, bit of slower, of course. It's a very kitschy story, and it's made by a little company called Cave.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
The shooter company.
The shooter company. Yep.
Yeah, they do occasionally. I mean, they make cool the Saturn snowboard game.
Yep.
I can't remember
Featuring
what it's called, but yeah,
Garou.
they did that.
Yeah, I
Wow.
came upon this game because last year I had a course at university about dating games, and that's when I found this game and also had it out as a presentation subject, and the student made an amazing presentation out of that. It was
Yeah, I've heard
fantastic.
people talk about it before, but I didn't even know it got localized.
Yep, there is a European version with different covers. Check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
didn't know.
don't expect too much, but it's perfectly cromulent, I'd say.
Oh, excellent. I'm gonna have to look this up. But yeah, there are some, like if you go looking, there are a lot of games that you just wouldn't have heard of on DS.
Especially when you go to Japan and check out the stores.
Yeah,
And that's one of the strengths of the machine. Like, when you look at how popular it was, like the original PlayStation, there's just so many games out there. So you could quite easily just find stuff that you have never played before.
Yeah.
There's so much variety. Yes, there's a lot of shovelware, but there's also a lot of, and it does feel like one of the most recent systems where you can do that, and you can still make discoveries that the internet isn't necessarily harking on about and stuff.
yeah, yeah. There are, like we've just said as well. Like tonight, we've had some come up that some of us haven't heard of,
There's
and
a
it
good
is just
mystical ninja game on the DS as well.
yes,
That only
yeah.
came
there
out
is.
in Japan.
Yeah, there's
Again,
nothing
too
good.
bad John couldn't make it.
Yeah,
He could have gone on about Mystical Ninja now.
Yeah, I'm so gutted that that collection's not coming out over here.
Yeah, yep. I'll make you tell M2 off when I see them in this fall.
Yeah, I think that probably does it then for this. Any closing thoughts on the DS, Thomas?
Well, it's a wonderful machine. It's one of my all-time favorites, I guess. And it's also the system, I think, that really got me through these dark days of PS360 when everything was gray and brown and green and everything, and all 30 FPS and lots of shooting and war and stuff. So this was basically my happy place for games where you had fun stuff, colorful stuff, original stuff, and yeah, still a big fan even today.
Excellent. Darren, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what Thomas has said. It just felt massively different to everything else that was on the market. It's still got lots of great exclusives to discover, and it's still, I still haven't found a better way to like enjoy the games other than on the actual console. So that's why it's one of the few systems that will probably always stay in my library.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
both so much
And
for
just so you guys know, by the way, I just ordered a copy of Star Wars Episode 3.
that. Nice. Nice. I've ordered a copy of the Go-Go Cosmo Cops as well from CDX.
I'm looking at that as well.
But no, yeah, I will echo what you guys have said. For me as well, the DS was that system that made me really, like, gets me really nostalgic for that period. Even though that period of my life, it wasn't amazing, but yeah, I do get a lot of nostalgia for that era because of the DS and the PSP as well to another extent, because I do feel
Yeah,
like
I
Both
love
two
the
wonderful
PSP.
systems, yeah.
yeah, I thought those two systems were the ones that really got me, as a gamer in that period.
The
Whereas the bigger consoles were moving away from me, and these two systems were like, no, you still like games.
PSP is in such a weird position where it's generally considered a failure because it came second to the DS, but it still sold like over 80 million units.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bigger than the Game Boy Advance.
yeah.
It's mental. Oh yeah, the PSP is so good. You should do a PSP one if you haven't
I am absolutely
done
going
one.
to do one, and I take it you'll be on
Let me
that one,
know.
Darren.
Oh,
And Thomas,
I'll be well up for it.
excellent. I'm definitely up for that as well, because PSP, like I say, it's right up there with the DS for me. Yeah, they're two of my favorite systems of all time. I love both of them. Yeah, such great libraries on both, but so different as well. That was the great thing. That's why you could have both of them happily living side by side, because you're like,
Hmm.
completely different. This is like the PS2, but in the palm of my hand. In terms of game styles, and then this one's like,
Yeah.
this is my Super Nintendo or PS1, but with even more weirdness. It's so
One thing I will say about the PSP, which I did prefer over the DS, and which I found quite interesting, considering the fact that the DS is a Nintendo machine. It felt like there was a lot more retro stuff on the PSP than there was on the DS, particularly when it
Yes.
came to like compilations.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah, I mean,
compilation. Absolutely, yeah.
M2 made such great work on there.
Yeah. It's like I love the Twinbee compilation on PSP.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, that's
love
them.
that. Yeah, that's so good. And the Superstar Soldier one as well. Yeah, there's some really good compilations. And there's a really good compilation of the Midway Arcade classics as well. It's really good on PSP.
Also, a great Parodius pack.
Yes.
But
That's
okay,
really
that's
good.
an entirely new podcast now.
Yes, that's PSP. That's the preview of the PSP podcast right there. Yeah.
Look forward to it.
But yes, thank you both so much for joining me on this one. I've had a really good time talking about DS, and I am so nostalgic for like 2005, which no one should be nostalgic for 2005. But yes, thank you very much, both of you.
No problem. Thanks for having us on.
Was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Cheers. Goodbye, everyone.